Jason Verrett, he's worn every number in the books for us. He is back on the practice squad. He was at the game in the stands as a fan. This has been in the making for a while. The injury to Charvarius Ward, the groin, doesn't seem too severe, but they bring him onto the practice squad right off the bat. What are your thoughts there with good old Verrett, the legend, coming back?
It's almost like he's a 49er legend. I mean, I know he was here off and on throughout the tail end of his career, and he gave you an all-pro season. I know he didn't get all-pro that year, but man, he was officially a lockdown corner and found a way to stay healthy. Unfortunately, we didn't advance in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl that year, and then the next year he dealt with injury, and it is what it is, right? But at the end of the day, you're bringing back a savvy vet, a guy that knows the system, a guy that can help this young. You got to remember the DB room is still young. Now you got a veterans vet in with the cornerbacks, and then you get the veterans vet and the safeties, and that's good, right?
Logan Ryan.
Logan Ryan. And so this is good for the Niners. Now, here's my thing. If Mooney Ward isn't available to go and he has a good practice week, I'm talking about Verrett, I could possibly see the Niners keeping things in its original form, adding the new guy to the outside, keeping Ambry to the outside, and putting in this particular game and these particular matchups against those particular speedy wide receivers. It's a low risk, high reward. I would just do it. I'd rather have them out there than Isaiah Oliver, put Deommodore Lenoir back in the slot, keep it moving, because I don't see any big guys other than Trey McBride, which is their tight end, that they'll have to figure out the cover. And so I can see Verrett, if he has a clean, great set of practices this week, he might be made to that active roster.
Yeah, Michael Wilson was their other big wide receiver. He's out.
He's out.
He's not playing.
That was their language, physical guy. He's on the IR. Yeah.
So I'm with you there. This is one of the smallest. Again, this is a Cliff Kingsbury build, which is not how you win football games in the NFL. They got a new coaching staff, and they're doing fairly well, kind of well. But yeah, it's interesting. Verrett hasn't played. His last game was with us, September of 2021. That's when he got injured. But he's been on Houston's practice squad all year. So he's been with D'Amico. He's in football shape. He's been playing. I don't know. Now, it's funny because Jason Verrett triggers nostalgia for me. He went to TCU, played. I mean, I watched this dude play high school ball, and I loved it. I hate TCU, but I grew up like a few miles from the campus, and I couldn't stand the kids that went there. Well, anyway, that's another story. But I wanted us to draft him. He went. I did a little deep dive. The 2014 draft class. Listen to these names, okay? The 49ers ended up getting Jimmy Ward at 30. Jason Verrett went 25. So he went before we were on the clock. Jimmy Ward was a great pick. But listen to these other names that ended up going to the Niners. At number 21, Clinton Dix. He was with us. 23, D Ford. 24, Darquez Denard. We had him for a minute. Then Verrett Ward. Number 42, Jordan Matthews. 43, Western Richburg, who we signed, and he pulled the freaking horn to start the game last week. Not done. We're going to keep going. 50 overall, Jeremiah Tachu. 57, Carlos Hyde. 62, Jimmy Garoppolo. 70, Marcus Martin, our center, who never really got off the ground. And 77, Chris Borland. All in the same draft. That was the first 3 rounds.
And they've been all 49ers.
Yeah, that's a healthy pool right there.
So he's the last of the last. I think like I said, I think Verrett, he's been healthy. He's been in a camp, and that's good. The fact that he's in football shape, but he just has to get through a week of 49er practices. That's the key. And if he does, man, why not? Why not? You'll have 2 lockdowns on the outside. They'll test Ambry, because Ambry concerns me in this game because of the double moves. And I feel like that's how they're going to try to take advantage of Ambry Thomas. I believe that's what happened earlier. And so, they have quicker, shiftier wide receivers. And so you got to put your best guys out there that can cover those type of receivers. If Red is healthy, he should be good to go.
Yeah, I like this question from Vince, man. What's going on with Samuel Womack? He's out there killing it on special teams.
Yeah.
But it seems like the 49ers don't see him as an option as at the cornerback position.
I wonder if the injury was the setback and he just doesn't get the amount of reps to move up. Whereas Ambry Thomas last year, remember what happened to Ambry Thomas last year? Injuries. Every time he got an opportunity, he just couldn't perform. I just feel like Samuel Womack is in that. He just can't climb the depth chart without the proper reps, and it'll take him another season because he was on IR at the beginning of the year. So Ambry's stepping up, and I think that's what's keeping him out. Now, anything can change, injury can happen. He can go in and ball out, and then that's good because now you have talent at the depth positions if we need him. But he could be another viable option. I just don't know if he's trusted yet.
Yeah, and you look at what happened to Darrell Luter Jr., Johnny Dale Football Academy. What's up, man? Go subscribe to his channel if you haven't yet. He missed with the hamstring, was doubtful, didn't really practice that much. We'll find out more Wednesday if Luter's an option on the outside, which again, special team stud.
This is the dog we like. So, and here, and
this is a long-term answer.
This is a long-term answer, but so could be Samuel Womack III. Okay, so I don't want people to think that he's not. It's just an injury. They're getting him back in on special teams. Listen, the Niners have starters on special teams. That's key. Jordan Mason, this Darrell Luter Jr. if he plays, Samuel Womack. These are guys that can get down the field and crack the block off of these players, and that's what you want, right? And so we're good. We're good. Now, if they need to come in and do a job, we have them available. So let's get him on special teams. No one wants Luter out there more than me. He is the dog of dog. We haven't even seen what a dog looks like on the secondary yet. I like Diamador Lenore, but it's a different type of animal compared to the dog I'm talking about Darrell Luter Jr. is.
Yeah. And Big Papa says, is Luter healthy? We'll find out Wednesday. I doubt he practices, maybe limited, probably on the side. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Right here is Q Knight on the squad. He is not. Sadly, he is not. Seattle Faithful, what's up, man? I love this chapter. So many guys on the roster that climbed the depth chart that other teams would love to have. Great problem. Well, the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan has been notorious for this developmental of the practice squad and rewarding in-house guys. And so when teams have when players have options, they almost always choose the Niners because the Kyle Shanahan loyalty program. If Shanahan likes you, he's going to give you a chance down the road as a coach, as a player, whatever else. Doesn't matter. Quantrez Knight's probably the one that is the anomaly to that. They didn't really reward him, but almost everybody else has been a part of that.
The 49ers Rush Podcast.